before the, yes, thank you. 2 or 3 days before Friday, there's a fight over a girl. 2 young men have a fight over her, whoever she is, we don't know yet. And as a result of that, the next day, 3 or 4 friends of the loser of the fight go after the kid that won the fight. And it just escalates from there, to the point where Friday during the day, they felt that there was gonna be an issue after school. They brought in extra police officers inside the school. They had a briefing with the kids that were involved at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, kind of toned them down. They had a good discussion. They felt that everything was fine. And when they come out of school, we had people, extra officers downtown, we had them in place. And as you saw, they kind of spread out through the downtown area and just completely started fighting, disobeying the officers' orders to leave. Teachers were out there trying to stop them. The superintendent of schools was out there trying to get these kids to go home. They would not listen to any commands. They just, all we wanted them to do was go home. And the officers, like I said, I felt from what I've seen and what I've heard from people who have come to me, give me videos, sent me emails, that the officers did a tremendous job. And like I said, they're all parents, and that's kind of how they treated these kids. If you watch their body actions at the tape from the Enterprise Bank, you can see that these officers are not agitated at all, and these kids are just completely out of control.
Please bear with me because I was out last week, but so this, and what I haven't seen in our coverage is, so this goes back to what day last week when there was a fight?
It ended Friday. That was the last fight. Then it was
yeah, but earlier
Thursday, and then it looks like it goes back into like Monday or Tuesday where there was I don't know where the fight happened, whether it was just a small group of people there. That's usually how it starts, and then it grows as time goes on with the social media part.
Was that initial fight over the girl?
Yes, correct.
Where was that fight?
I'd have to check with Peasley. I'm not sure.
It wasn't inside the high school, was it?
No. It was outside somewhere, but I don't know if it was right after school or it could have been a fight anywhere in the city later on in the day. But then the social media part takes over, and all these kids show up to watch the fight.
And the girl, right, and the 2 people who originally fought, all Lowell high school students?
I'd have to check on that too. I believe so, but I have to check.
Okay. And then, you know, one thing that I've always understood to be really important here in Lowell is the involvement of the high school and headmasters and the principals to, you know, quell a situation before it gets out of, you know, before it develops into something like it did on Friday. Mm-hmm. So after that initial fight, what was done, you know, in the ensuing days prior to when it all just boiled over on Friday?
I think you'd have to talk to this.
I think you'd have to talk to the superintendent.
They
About
put
that.
more officers in the school.
No, I'm talking
That
about
was Friday.
in the schools.
Friday.
In the school.
Right,
Yeah.
that was Friday, because as what happened downtown, when it escalated to the point downtown Thursday, there was 2 or 3 fights downtown, that they thought it'd be safe to bring extra officers into the school. They walked around talking to the kids, trying to, you know, get the feel of them and, you know, get them to calm down. And then, like I said, they sat 6 or 7 of the kids down at 2 o'clock in the afternoon before dismissal, and later
On Friday?
Yeah, on Friday.
Wow.
So, you know, guys, you guys all set here. You know, do we need to take you home? What's the deal here? No, we're going to be fine. Things will be all right. And then they get outside, and I don't know if it's that group that started or someone else started, but there were people waiting outside for these kids that kind of knew about that weren't Lowell high school students. And the thing just took off. And every time they moved them, they moved to one location, fight there. They moved to another location and fight there. Then the ugliest part was outside the Enterprise Bank. They had to lock the bank down. I mean, these things shouldn't happen downtown.
No.
People had to lock themselves inside buildings.
And this was a situation that the police had to call for mutual aid, and that never happened.
I have 31 years on the job, and a lot of things have happened in the city. I've never heard mutual aid called before. And it was basically...
we usually have like UMass Lowell cops that come in and help and stuff.
UMass Lowell came in, Mass State Police came in, Drake had transferred to Tewksbury. And that's a dangerous situation. Oh yeah, that's what you heard it escalating. The officers are trying to get these kids to leave. The fights are breaking out. And then all of a sudden, you know, send everybody downtown. Now every officer in the city, every neighborhood wanted protected. How this whole thing went on, and they all end up downtown, driving through heavy, busy traffic in the afternoon, which, you know, the potential for accidents and injuries rise. And they get downtown. And even then, once they were all down there, and they tried to call it, they couldn't do it. And then they called for mutual aid. I think 4 troopers came in, and then a couple officers in Tewksbury, Richardson and Donoghue came in. But now you have people from out of town rushing to get into the city. It's a busy time of day. And then the poor people that are in traffic. You got to see the video. They're in traffic just trying to go through downtown, doing their business, and they can't get through. They're fighting, bouncing off the people's cars. It was,
As I said, completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. We did meet with the superintendent over the weekend. She's in complete agreement that this cannot happen and will not happen. There was a large police presence today when school came in, and everything seemed calm. But, you know, we need to assure not just the kids in the school and the parents, but everybody who lives in the city and in the downtown, or who's trying to go to work or conduct business, that this is going to, not gonna be tolerated, and we're gonna take it very, very seriously.
But